All right, here we are with my 2021 Bass Cat Eyra brand new boat. Just got back from Florida. I wanted to shoot this walkthrough video down there in Florida, but I never really had the right cameraman and I never had the right weather and nothing lined up. So here we are back in the Missile Baits warehouse. Pardon all the boxes and the pallets of baits, pardon that. But we're gonna focus on the boat today. We're gonna go through everything about the Bass Cat Eyra. This is a 20-foot, 2-inch boat, 94-inch beam, I believe that's correct. And it's got the tandem axle trailer of like these Bass Cat wheels. The boat is still a little bit dirty because I had to drag it all the way back from Florida. It rained the entire time, so the boat got very dirty, but I've wiped it down, cleaned it up enough to be able to go through this whole walkthrough, show you everything from the front to the back. But we're gonna start at the back over here with these two power poles. I've been running power poles for like 15 years now. Just an amazing product. They continue to upgrade the power poles. It's got two 8-foot black blades on here. They are mounted to the TH Marine mount. And if you come back here and look, you can see that these mounts are very solid. The Bass Cat has helped develop the system for the brackets that go on the TH Marine Atlas plate, and they're just extremely solid. And then what PowerPole has done in the last couple years is that they've gone to pins in here that hold these brackets on. So as you can see, this is a nice smooth cover. There's nothing to get hung up, grass, anything like that. And there's nothing to loosen up down here anymore. To where for years you had to periodically tighten up these deals here. But now it's all solid as a rock. And of course, she's dirty, and I apologize to her, but my big 250 Mercury Pro XS, this thing is a workhorse. That 4-stroke, amazing low end, just a great deal. I got my prop alert on there as well. I've got a Fury 3-blade 24-pitch prop on there this year. That is what seems like works best on the Eyra. That is the way I like to do it. Got the old school motor toter on there, down there. Went old school. I don't like any of the ones that are up in here this anymore. But then I've got the steer stops from TH Marine on there to help keep it from turning one way or the other. I think that's big. It puts a lot less stress on the turning portion as you're towing it down the road. That's a big deal for me. So 8-inch TH Marine jack plate is what comes on here. Bass Cat only allows the 8-inch plate. That's why all the Bass Cats have that. No other depth, 6-inch or 12-inch or anything like that. But that's pretty much it back here on the back end portion. Now we're gonna get up into the boat and we're gonna go through everything from the back all the way to the front. Okay, now we hopped up in the back of the boat, and if you don't know anything about Bass Cats, most of them have two gas tanks that are in the rear, and this Bass Cat Eyra has two 24-gallon tanks in the back here, and gives you 48 gallons of gas. You can go a long ways on that. And the other part I like about my Bass Cat is that it has got these two big compartments on the Eyra, two big compartments. So you can see there's one of the gas tanks, and I've got my two cranking batteries over here. Yeah, two cranking batteries. I don't think that I absolutely need two cranking batteries, but I've got 5 graphs on this boat, 5 electronics, plus I've got live wells and everything else running. So Lithium Pros just said, go ahead and run 2, and we'll make sure you have plenty of power. Last year I only had one 80 amp hour battery from Lithium Pros. That was all the power I needed due to the fact that I had the power pole charge, which I'll show you here in a second. But once you look around in here, you can see Bass Cat does an amazing job of rigging. I did some extra rigging. I installed the batteries and things like that, but it was already extremely neat, extremely tidy back here. And that little Spro bag over there has got a spare set of clothes in it in case I should fall into the water. I got a spare set of clothes. That's always a smart idea. But as you can see, that's what that is. And then this is the cord where I plug my power pole charge, which is right over here. The power pole charge is on this side, this big compartment. But this is my 36 volt. It's a 65 amp hour battery, and it's got the breaker on there and everything. But that you can see where my power pole charge is connected, and that's the power pole charge right over there. And then I've got my throw cushion back here in this empty slot where a fourth battery usually goes. But once you look down in there, you can see you can get to all of your pumps, your live well pumps, your bilge pumps. All that stuff is just very open and easily accessible on this Bass Cat Eyra. One of the reasons I love a Bass Cat, especially the Eyra, is you can get to everything back there very easy in case something gets clogged or you have an issue. Very easy to deal with. But there's two big boxes here on the back. And this year in the 21 edition, they opened up the size of this. They made it a little bit bigger so I can get more stuff in here. Usually I leave this pretty much empty for my marshals out on the tour. Leave it, you know, so if you have a co-angler, whatever, you probably want to try to leave this open so they can, you know, put the rain suit, lunch, whatever in there. And the cool part about what Bass Cat has done was that they designed this little compartment here to flip open, and then your pumps are right there. And even if you don't have pumps for your power poles, you've also got a little valve there that you can filter, so you can empty that for your live wells. Do that very easy, very quickly on both sides. It's got those. And then with the new Eyra, they actually increased the size of the opening in the live well. I like the small opening. I'm getting used to the big opening. I do like that big opening. Last week at the first Bassmaster Elite Series, I did catch a 613, which fit in there very easily and nicely. So I had plenty of room for that big old boy. And there's very big, very deep live wells. You can see I can stick my whole arm in there and still not even touch the bottom. So they're very deep. Put a lot of water in there. I think that's key. The more water volume you can put in your live well, the better oxygen that you can hold for those. So that's two sides to that. And then over here on this side is this other same big compartment like on that side. I keep all my hooks over here, and I keep my weights in there and most of my jigs. The heavy stuff is what I try to keep towards the back of the boat. As you're running your boat, you want to try to keep as much weight as you can towards the back and not the front. And that's kind of how I try to set my boat up. But it doesn't always work like that. But we're gonna kind of transition to the seats. There's under seat storage and a cooler. We'll kind of look at that here in just a second. All right, here we are to the middle part of, it's one of my favorites right here. It's got an in between the seat cooler while you're running down the lake or you make a quick stop. You can just reach in there and grab your water, whatever you might need. And then also in this flip up portion is a sealed waterproof box right here. I can keep a lot of my Sharpies, things like that. Keep my light in there. So if I want to do some mining, if I find an open coal mine and I want to try to get some coal out of there, I can do that. And then if somebody gets on one of my fishing holes, I can mace them. Or if I can't see to tie a fishing knot, I'll just I'll put on some reading glasses. So all that kind of stuff is right in there. Under my seat, I've got all my culling stuff. I've got my bug spray, which I used down in Florida, believe it or not. Got my Catch Commander scale. Got a backup scale. Got my John Cruz sunglasses. I got some essential wipes. That is key right there, very key. And then I've got Advil and 5-hour energies. So that's essential equipment there. And then under this seat, I have a lot of my tools. This is nothing but, this is tape. And then all my tools are under there. So that's where I try to keep that heavier weight under there so I don't use that as frequently. I got a couple tools in here, and then my ropes and a first aid kit and my flares. Got to be legal. Got to get them flares in there. Rick flares, by the way. So that's that. Under here, my TH Marine hot foot essential equipment. I love the hot foot. I've always had the hot foot. Big fan of the hot foot. But you need to make sure whenever you clip your extra line, you put that into your trash bin or whatever compartment. You don't throw extra line in the floor of your boat, because it will get wrapped around your hot foot and it'll clog up. So you don't want to do that. And then here on the console, we've got my Bass Boat Technologies dual mount, the Lowrance and the Humminbird, and under the back, I've got both side imaging transducers. They're both really good, but for the through hole applications running down the lake, the Lowrance through hole is unbeatable. It's really good. So I use the 2D for the through hole on the Lowrance, but they're very comparable on basically everything else. And then, as all Bass Cats have, they got the A10 touchpad down here for all of your lights, horn, live wells, pump in and out, and all that kind of stuff. And the key for the Bass Cat is right down here under the steering wheel, which I love. I love the steering wheel being under the steering wheel like that, because when I go to sit down, I can start it and put my hands right on the steering wheel. And also, I've got these turnstile trim tabs. One does the jack plate and the other does the trim. I like my trim on this side, my jack plate on this side, because with my right hand I can do jack plate and the trim on the throttle if I wanted to. I can go back and forth. So that's kind of how I like that. And as you can see, there's no gauges on the high portions here under there. I've got the gauge, all my gauges down here where I can see them. I got my Mercury SmartCraft gauge down there. I got my TH Marine Atlas plate right there, and then I got my power poles switch right there, and then I've got these two USB ports. It's standard on Bass Cats. Now I plug my GoPros into that, and usually in practice I'll just plug my phone into one of those. It's pretty cool. But the only other thing, it's hard to see because it's up under this console where I mounted it, was the Lowrance Sonic Hub. The Lowrance Sonic Hub is connected to both of the Lowrance systems so that I can listen to FM radio, I can connect to the Bluetooth on my phone, listen to music off of my phone. It's really cool. That's what these speakers are there for. I love that part of it. So I always had to put that Sonic Hub up there. Moving up front here, we got the step. We got the step here. I keep my Cullen deals there. I use that for trash and for my partners, drinks and stuff like that. Keep that there. Got a little spot for all your scissors and pliers. Got the open container here, so you can have, I keep my dyes here, super glue, things like that. And then I've got my TH Marine deals there for I keep my extra hooks and crankbaits and stuff like that when I need to. All right, now we're gonna get up here to the front part of the business end. One of the reasons I love the Eyra is because it has these two coffin lids on them, because I can sit on this side and I can open this side. I keep all my hard baits over here, and I've got my day box up here with just whatever I'm using for that particular day. Throw that in there. And then if I want to get to the other side, I can just hop to this side, and then I can open up this big lid, and I've got most all the soft plastics in my whole boat are right here. And then I got, like my leader material and all that, I've got it all down in here as well. But so all my soft plastics, I can just grab them real quick. So coffin lids, I think they're very efficient, good way to go. And the Eyra also has massive rod lockers. I took all of my rods out of this one because I'm getting ready for my next tournament, so I took them all out. But I mean, just look at how big these rod lockers are. I had 18 rods in this rod locker, plus I had some baits, and then I had 9 rods in this one, but I could have put a few more in. On this side, I keep my life jacket, keep my striker rain suit, keep all my sun shields. I keep extra hats. I've got my live scope, black box in there. I keep a helmet in there. Keep all of my cold weather gear in there as well. I got a couple boat fenders, and I keep all those rods in there. Gets pretty full in there. But then when you come up to the front, you can see got my trolling motor up here. It's got the padded deck, so that was pretty easy to stay on. Got my Ultrex over here. I'm starting out with the Ultrex this year. I had the Ghost last year. I loved the Ghost. That was a really good trolling motor. The Ultrex, it's tried and true. Not quite, missing a few of the upgrades that the Ghost has. I think the Ghost is, maybe a step up, but this is really tried and true. I mean, the Ultrex is a very good trolling motor, but there's getting ready to be another trolling motor on the market. Hint, hint, which we'll cover later. But with the, I've got the Mega 360 on here, and I put this little precision sonar deal on here to help keep it rigid, keep it hard. And then I've got 3 graphs up here. You can see I've got the Lowrance HDS 12, the Humminbird Helix 12, and then I've got the Garmin EchoMap 104 SV up there. That does a good job. And we're gonna switch angles so I can show you how I've got all these things mounted. All right, so here's the 3 graph setup on the front. I've got these on TH Marine Mini Kong mounts. So I'm gonna unscrew the Garmin so I can show you how it goes in there. So this is the 3-inch arm. It goes right into there. And then there's the zero mount. It's another TH Marine Kong. That comes off very easily as well. And then I've got my Hydro Wave kind of hidden right down in there. Perfect, plenty of room for that. But I have to take these off in order to put my cover on, make it fit right. But that's not really a big deal. I'll get that tightened back up later. Not really a big deal. The other deal is I'll walk around here and show you my my Garmin. This is where I've got the Garmin mounted currently. I may move that to down here just to get it away from the 360. I'm not 100% happy with the way it's mounted. Don't know if I'm going to leave it. I'm going to experiment with it to try to get this system really dialed in, but that's how I've got it mounted currently, and it does okay. I think it can get better, so I'm going to move it around. That's why I'm not saying this is set in stone right here. And then up here, of course, I've got to have my my power pole up and down switches. And if you're not familiar with these switches, you need to connect to your Sea Monster app. If you have power poles, connect to that Sea Monster app. Then you can make sure that these 2 buttons are added into your system. Then you can adjust the speed that these buttons control your power poles with, and you can make them one touches, which is what I've done. You hit the button one time, the power pole goes all the way down until it's locked. Then you hit it up once and it comes all the way up till it's locked. That's the way I like these buttons up there. Much more efficient, much quicker, and you can control the speed. You don't have to be 100% all the time. I like it at about 33 to 35%. I think that speed is nice and quiet, but still goes down and it goes up with plenty of speed. So that's my rig ready to go. Got to get it ready for the next Bassmaster Elite Series event, but that's my whole walkthrough. If you've got any questions or comments, drop them down there at the bottom. I want to hear about it. Anything you want to know why I have it set up the way I do, I'll be sure to answer that, and I'll see it in there. But thanks for watching my Bass Cat Mercury setup for 2021.